All right. So I guess we'll start with introduction. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Eric, and I'm from College Station, Texas.
And how did you end up? What inspired you to come out here?
So the opportunity to come here came about through a friend, and I had just gotten off of the Appalachian Trail, and I still wanted to spend some time outdoors. And I thought it would be a unique opportunity to be in a remote part of Mexico in El Chino, as well as being in Ciudad Valles, that I don't think a lot of American tourists get to experience.
Okay. Was there anything that you learned or any lessons you're going to take home with you from your time here?
It was interesting to be away from, I would guess, the modern amenities that I'm accustomed to having living in the United States. So maybe things that I would previously take for granted, like being able to drink tap water, ready and convenient access to things. I've learned that I don't really miss as much as I thought I would. I've been here for close to 2 months, and yeah, some of the cravings for food and things like that might occur. But one thing I've learned is you adapt pretty quickly to the environment that you're in.
Was there anything that stood out to you? Any specific moments out here at the center with what you were doing? Or
At the center, I think it was just nice to be in nature, seeing the different kinds of crops and plants that are grown here. I think if you're more accustomed to, say, large-scale agriculture in the United States, it's not really the same. There's a multitude of plants and wildlife and things that are out here. So, in my opinion, it was kind of more of a natural environment. So that stood out. The community atmosphere certainly stood out in El Chino. And then I'd say in the time that I spent in Ciudad Valles, the people have been exceedingly friendly and very helpful. My Spanish is almost non-existent, but I've still been able to get around. People are very patient and kind.
okay. Was there any shift in perspective or knowledge background related to agriculture and the environment that you noticed?
Well, I don't think I could have really a shift in perspective or knowledge because I didn't have any coming here, but I could say for sure that I don't think that I really understood on a fundamental level what it takes to grow crops that are edible, or not that are edible, but that what it takes to grow crops to feed people. I think when you're just on the consumer side of things, you just see the end product, say in the produce department at the grocery store. So being here and just seeing things as they grew, I learned all that's involved with cultivating crops.
Okay. You mentioned enjoying some time in the local community. Was there any moment that stood out to you related to community or cultural aspects?
I would say the times in Valles, in Ciudad Valles, where I was, say, dining out by myself, the one thing that struck me was how accommodating and hospitable the restaurant staff always were. So they would take the time to make sure that I knew what I was ordering. There was one instance in particular where I ordered something not really knowing what it was, and it turns out I didn't like it. And they were very nice. I didn't even ask for it, but they were very nice in giving me something else that I would find palatable, which I thought was just an amazing act of hospitality and kindness that I won't ever forget.
Along those lines, was there any kind of meal or fruit or thing that you tried that really stood out?
I would say just the freshness of the fruit in general Um, I don't think there's been any fruit or vegetable that I've tried here that I haven't liked. I did have homemade mole, and I would say that's probably one of my favorite meals of all time. As I understand it, the chicken had just been slaughtered as well, so everything was very fresh. The food here in El Chino, the food in Ciudad Valles, tamales, street tacos, it's all been very appetizing, and probably one of the things I'll miss when I leave.
Do you have any kind of big picture takeaways or practices or knowledge that you're going to take with you, maybe apply after you leave?
I think the one thing, and I touched on it earlier, the one thing that I can take with me is that I don't really need as much as I thought maybe I did. If we're talking about modern Western conveniences or modern American conveniences like air conditioning, Uber Eats, drive-throughs, some of those things, I feel like when I'm leaving here, sure, I'll avail myself to them, but I don't think I'll be as dependent on them going forward. That's the takeaway from a personal perspective, as far as what I need to just sustain myself and to be happy.
Okay. Any final thoughts or tips for future visitors or volunteers?
I would encourage people, first and foremost, to just come and if you have the opportunity, come here and see what the place has to offer. I don't necessarily have, it's not like I've always had an interest in agriculture or anything like that. It was just more of a passing curiosity to see what the center was like. And like I said, to see, Valles and El Chino, the communities themselves, which are not places that are frequented by Western tourists. I would say, maybe it's normal to have a little trepidation to kind of dive into the unknown, but I've had a great experience. I would encourage other people that have the opportunity to come here to take advantage of it if they can.
All right.